grift, and
Yeah, it is a grift. That's right. Yeah, I love that sound of money, man. I wish I could do a grift. I can, man. I don't know where to go, man. I tried it. As soon as I show up, they're like, "Now you know that's a grift, Omar. Get the hell out of here." So, Alan did a tweet in his fake social media, Twitter, said, "Oh, I'm going to get arrested Tuesday. Come out and protest." And he sent those letters, to raise funds to make money off the grift. So, why do you think the government is afraid of him or something? Or they scared to indict him? Why is it taking so long to get this guy in jail or get him indicted with so many investigation after investigation going on, man?
I think it's a matter of them thinking that the public may doubt them as an institution. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
They really don't want the status quo pushed too hard. And they think people are going to think that it's really a political indictment. And I mean, it's at the same time not. Just they're getting him for some sort of scam that under New York law was more than likely illegal. So, this will all explain it. Obviously, NBC has, a liberal bias, but this is just purely descriptive. So how be indicted, what to know about the hush money case. And there they are. The indictment of a former president would be a remarkable moment in the country's history in a case with legal underpinning that appears far from open and shut. Let's just read the first couple paragraphs.
Yeah, go ahead.
A former president has never been prosecuted in the history of the United States. As early as this week, that may change. Donald faces possible criminal charges in New York relating to a hush money payment to film star Daniels. Maintains he has committed no crime, and his attorneys argue he was the victim of extortion. I don't know how that legal theory would go down. Manhattan DA's office, run by Democrat. Okay, I should remind people, literally every city DA's office is controlled by a Democrat, because it's a city, okay?
Yeah.
So, isn't commenting, and no charges have been announced. But if in fact is indicted, it would be a remarkable moment in the country's history in a case with a legal underpinning that appears far from open and shut. What is the possible crime? What was that?
Do you think that the government is afraid of any violence or anything? I don't think so. Nobody gives a anymore after the what can they do worse than they did on the what is it called?
January 6th.
Yeah, January 6th. I mean, it turns out it's a bunch of idiots in makeup.
Yeah.
Running around, Yahoo! Nothing to show.
American flags painted on their face.
They're all in jail, and the guy's home sleeping the best bed there is with a model. While these idiots are doing jail time and masturbating in their bunk beds. You understand what I'm saying?
The family values people are screwing around with hoes and paying them hush money for it. These people are oppressed, Omar. I mean, come on.
Thank you for saying that. You know what it is? They are defending him. They're not seeing why he's being indicted because he had sex with a star while he's married, and his wife just had a baby. They're not looking at that part. They're like, oh, they want to get our man. Aren't you shameful to defend such a animal like that? He doesn't represent you. I mean, we don't care. I mean, what he does, but the religious class, the elites, that we are the people of God, that we are holy, we're cleansed. Do not mind certain things that benefits them. They'll have no issue with him of having a sexual relationship with a star, mind you. If I did it, I would never go with a not because he's a porno star. You see how those guys last like 2-3 hours? Oh, I can't last. I can't do nothing with that. You understand? I would embarrass myself. So the whole idea is that I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. But they do like an easy. They're getting people ready. In Atlanta, any day now we gotta get an indictment. Jack Smith, who has such a funny name. Oh, any day now, arrest the guy. The guy's a criminal. He's a walking crime scene. Everything he touched, there's nothing that is normal. Everything is under investigation. Everything. You understand?
Yeah.
So well, he tweets, oh, get ready, protest. Like another word, we need some violence out there. They're gonna get their head cracked by the police in New York if they try that shit in Manhattan. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York isn't gonna take kindly to a bunch of MAGA people
40,000.
crowding the sidewalks and the streets with all the nonsense. Like it ain't gonna work. And I mean, these people are such freaks, and no matter like what immoral things he does, I think he was right when he said I could, go on Fifth Street or some crap
Middle
like
Fifth-
that and
yeah,
shoot
Middle Fifth
someone and
Avenue.
not lose any voters, because it is a cult at the end of the day.
It is a
I mean, he can do no wrong in their eyes, and in a really fringe MAGA wing, especially the QAnon types, they literally do believe he is the Messiah. So for them, it's not that he paid hush money to quiet up a scandal to get the interlopers to shut up. No, it's that the deep state is pursuing a. The deep state
Hold on.
pursuing a chicken.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I pressed the wrong
The
button.
deep state
Yeah.
is pursuing some chicken charge against him, and they want to politically reprimand him and throw him in jail so that the deep state can succeed. But Occam's razor is always ignored with these people. He is a criminal, but in their eyes, he can do no wrong. Well,
Yes.
we got to continue, and then we'll just talk about that. Factually, the case is straightforward. Former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen paid Daniels $130,000.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's more than she can get in any. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like I mean, I don't know like specifics of the business, but I guess for one shoot, maybe you can get 10,000. That's what I'm guessing. But
$2,500.
Jesus Christ, like oh my God.
So many
For a moment, she was the most expensive hooker in history. Okay.
Not only that, everything she did, everyone who came close to her has died. Michael Cohen went to jail. Her lawyer, Michael Levanti, went to jail. Now down to everyone who came near that vagina is going to go to jail or is going to get destroyed. It's like a volcano.
That is a dangerous cunt.
The most dangerous thing is what's her name? Daniel.
This is the storm QAnon was talking about. A storm's coming. How it was sort of like rapture, and that everything's gonna fall apart in the four horsemen of the apocalypse. This is their apocalypse because they're going like DEFCON 5 or something. We gotta continue.
Only the idiots. I don't even think he has a lot of followers this time. Because Meatball DeSanto yesterday, he's slack. He said, we should not be any others leftists you two will like to work with. Yeah, of course.
There are an endless number of leftist YouTubers I'd like to work with.
Yeah, like for example, what were we saying? He threw me offline when you started. What we say? Oh, the Ron DeSantis. The way the statement, he said, "Well, I mean, I don't know what is this thing about a porno starting a payment." He said it like 2 times to make at the same time, and then go, "Oh, the guy's a renegade." The attorney, the attorney is the district attorney is a renegade. It is all politics. No, it's not. You have one of the most corrupt president in U.S. history. He lies to his family. He lies to his wife. He lies to his follower. He lies to the country, and they know he's a liar, and they still follow him. And they know he has fucking 5 brain cells in his head that he uses, and they still think he's a genius. And they're like, "Oh, look at Sleepy Joe." Okay, why don't you look at what he says? He said, when he's talking about the farmers, I had this video with the farmers. Well, if they live and they die and they die and they die, it was making no sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he's going to go to jail. I think the whole idea, they want to, I said this a long time ago, they want to tag him with a what is that? With a felony, either there or in Atlanta. Once they tag him with a felony, he cannot be in public life. And I'm willing to bet you the majority of the Republican political class, they want that to happen, but they're scared of him. They want him to go away.
Absolutely.
Some of them were talking like a month ago that they are going to wait for natural causes to take him away. That's how fucking coward they are. A bunch of pussies, man. All these.
He is old.
Guns here. I got AR-15. Yeah, basically, you got a guy from New York. You got a guy from New York who rents an apartment, got you by the neck and making you do things that he wants, man. It's just disgusting, man. I think the case in New York is weak, but it's good. It's going to embarrass him. I don't think he's embarrassed after now. They don't get embarrassed. Not them. The Republican Party has no values. The Republican Party is more of a it's not a parliamentary no more party. It's more of a what do you call the arm, the political arm of white nationalism. You know how they have when they have organization, you have the guerrilla, the military organ of that organization, and you have the what do you call it, the political arm of that organization. That's what it's coming. It's a shame what they've been through, and they are like I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm not giving a chance to talk, but let me just finish with this. Yeah. The Republican need to do what alcoholics and drug addicts do. They need to hit bottom. You know what they say? Oh, he's not going to get until he hits bottom. Once he hits bottom, hopefully, then they're going to wake up and say, well, what the hell we've been doing for the last 20 years?
Yeah, they really need some course correction. They haven't won a popular vote since 2004 in a presidential election. I mean, they're losing people. We got to continue. He was in the White House, reimbursed Cohen, but has consistently denied the affair. But the payment of the hush money by itself would be a crime. And this is the real point where the prosecution is getting at. In this case, the possible crime is how the payments were documented on the books of the organization. So basically, he was using campaign funds to pay her hush money. I don't think using hush money, like in and of itself, is that illegal in most circumstances. It's where the money is coming from, and where the money is coming from is from like a campaign sort of thing.
It's how the money was written down, the expense, the way it was written down.
Yeah, you can't screw with the books when it comes to payments like these. According to Mark Pomerantz, a former prosecutor who worked closely on the case and recently published a book about his experience, Cohen submitted phony invoices throughout 2017 referencing a retainer agreement and a requested payment. Then Cohen received a series of checks hand-signed by while he was in the White House. The legal problem is there was no retainer agreement, according to Pomerantz. It was, God damn it, Jesus Christ, it was, all right, it was, it was all done to cover up the hush money scheme, the fake documentation of legal expenses, because he was trying to pass this hush money off as legal fees on the organization's books could trigger a charge under New York state law, which makes falsifying business records a crime. Normally, the false business records charge could be a misdemeanor. In order to elevate it to a felony, the defendant needs to have created the fake records with an intent to commit or conceal another crime. Here, it's unclear what the Manhattan District Attorney's Office plans to argue is the second crime. Some legal commentators have suggested that perhaps the DA is only prosecuting the misdemeanor charge. Yeah, you were right. He's probably going to get off on some, jail sort of, others have argued that would be a waste of time and resources and give power to paint the case as weak. If the grand jury doesn't vote in favor of prosecuting this case as a felony, it could direct the prosecutor to file a misdemeanor case instead. Now, here's where our questions really get answered. Does the prosecution have, an absolutely certified 100% winnable case? No. The prior district attorney's office, run by Bragg's predecessor, Democrat Cy Vance, previously investigated the false business records charge. Limitations at length. According to sources familiar with the investigation, Vance even commissioned outside lawyers to look into the legal issues involved, but ultimately opted not to move forward with the prosecution. It was viewed as a gamble at the time, and it is still by many legal experts. We're just going to have one more paragraph, and then we're going to wrap this up. The grand jury indicts. Then the key will be, what's the prosecution's theory about the second crime mentioned above? Is it a state crime? Some have pointed to a possible conspiracy charge that under New York law, with the idea of being that conspired with others to make sure the affair didn't come to light before the 2016 election. Others have suggested that a federal campaign finance violation could be in play. That's what Michael Cohen pled guilty to back in 2018, along with other charges stemming from a probe of Cohen led by the Office of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, working with the FBI. So the prosecution here isn't exactly sure what not misdemeanor, the one felony charge they're going to go after. Yeah, they know he misappropriated these legal fees, but what they really need to hammer this home, and what they really need to throw him in jail, is some sort of bigger crime. And they don't exactly have, a completely shut case of that yet. So
New York jury will indict him, even if he went to trial. Everybody hates him in New York City, but if he went upstate New York, he'll be able. If they moved if he had a trial and they moved to when they moved to a different area because of prejudice to the court, he will win in upstate New York because they're more conservative or right leaning. But in New York City, he'll get smacked. They hate him, even this borough. I hate him, and he's a New Yorker. You understand?
Yeah.
You guys take all the garbage in Florida.
I don't know how many blocks you are away from power, but New York's haven of progressivism in America. Gay flags everywhere, and of course that's like with every city. You got the pride flags, you've got the marches, you've got the NGOs, and the Democrats and the left-wing organizations. But MAGA people aren't gonna do well there.
Have you ever been in New York City, in Manhattan?
No, I want to go places. But
when you go there, you could tell it's all terrorists, like from different parts of the United States. You could tell they're all walking hands in hand, taking pictures of the building. Because I'm like, look at these idiots. It's a building. What are they taking pictures of? Because I'm in New York. I grew up all my life there. But there are a lot of people walking, and it's so surreal. One time I told my wife, I think these people are paid actors to walk around. They look like, from those movies. Everybody's walking, they look the same, they dress the same, and they're all holding hands. They're all family from Ohio, from Iowa, from the Midwest. They come to see New York City. New York City is the cutting edge of all the cities. It's an open city.
It's impressive. Even on video, that's all I've seen. It's impressive. You got these huge freaking buildings.
I love it. I'll never leave. I love the cursing and the yelling and screaming. What you looking at once in a while on the train? I'm not looking at you, man. I was just, thinking. All right, don't think. Don't look at me. All right, good. So, the last thing, do you think they will get him? You think he'll be indicted? And what's going to happen? Just to close the
with this case specifically, no, they're probably gonna just get him on a misdemeanor, maybe give him a fine, not even just house arrest, but just something really petty. There are other cases where he could be prosecuted, but the DOJ is just dragging it out. But by the time they actually indict him, he's probably gonna be dead for all we know, because he's old now. So
the other case in Georgia, it's a Republican governor. He could just pardon him after the waste of time in Georgia anyway. So what's going on? Anyway, let's hope he gets indicted and gets a felony, and let him go away. Get away from us, man. Let us have our country back.
Disappear.
Yeah, we
want out of the public eye.
Republican, Democrat. We just want to be Americans, and we debate without hate. This guy is a hateful individual. Garbage.
Yep. You are a mistake we do not want to remember, sir.
No, we send all our garbage. We send it to Florida. We send our old to die there. All New Yorkers die in Florida. All the old people, we send them there to die. Now we send this guy to die, but he's not.
Yeah, we know they're dying because they're not voting. I mean, if we got a ton of blue voters,
I've been in Florida, it's all Cubans. I've been in what do you call Miami Beach? Is it called Miami Beach? Where the ocean is in those buildings, they're like apartment buildings. I walked on that sand once.
Yeah, I mean, what's weird is that Miami and counties adjacent to it, vote blue.
Yeah,
but
this year they didn't.
But they typically vote blue, but it's nowhere near enough to change the state. And I was thinking to myself, maybe since a lot of these people are refugees, they're probably going to vote Republican because they like, that whole Batista anti-communist.
These are socialists. You just came. Most of those are, who they're not regular refugees. Most of them are people who had money who ran away from the state, like Venezuela. You understand? These people had money or the elites, or a little higher than the poor class. They got the opportunity to come to Miami and live there and become whatever it is. Because the state did not pamper them no more under Chavez and under when they were distributing the wealth those years before he died. I used to like that guy. May he rest in peace, and the other people. So they don't have no excuse, especially the Cubans. I don't know who told them that they're fucking white and they're Republicans. These are the Batista, the Batista yeah, the
Yeah,
grandkids.
yeah, the mob types.
Yeah, these are the
Ugh.
people. Yeah, these are the people who their parents ran away from Cuba, but not because Cuba was bad, but because they were aligned
All
to
up in with the
regime.
mafia,
You
and
understand?
yeah,
So they're crying because if you look at Cuba, without the embargo, they have the best health system. You know, the people live longer in Cuba than the United States. You know
yeah,
that, right? I think,
yeah.
I was looking at the
That's
other
with
day.
the embargo.
Yeah, they have more doctors
From the
per
biggest power in
capita.
the world.
We
You
have
know?
plumbers in the United States. You know, they have as if 99.9 their education level. If you compare it to any country in South America, nothing comes close to it. And we have this unjust embargo on it. Oh, we're afraid of communism. Yeah, well, why spend hundreds of trillions of dollars in China? Who is more dangerous to the United States, China
Yeah.
or some island that is like 363, I don't know, square feet, whatever the fuck it is? Let's go, man. I get upset when I hear about that.
Yeah. And this in and of itself is going to be a short segment, but
Okay.
The MAGA folks, the real diehard MAGA folks, tried to protest, and it didn't work out well. We're just gonna skim a few sentences off this article because it's not much in the grand scheme of things. Waits out grand jury as New York braces for protest, facing the possibility of criminal charges. Donald waited out in Florida on Tuesday as New York braced for disruptions that could follow an indictment. Republican contenders in the 2024 race sized up the impact a prosecution could have on a campaign in which the former president is a contending leader and, a president hopeful. I mean, he's running for president. And he could still do it from jail. If he's probably not going to be in jail. He could still run from jail or prison.
The Democrat will probably give the Republican a favor. Maybe if he runs in the general election, he'll lose. Maybe we do him a favor without really knowing it. You understand?
Yeah. Over the weekend claimed without evidence that he would be arrested on Tuesday, but there was no indication that prediction would come true.
He sent the emails to raise funds on that lie. It was all a money thing. It's everything he does is how to get money out of his followers. I think they broke as fuck after now. How long can you fool somebody with lies? We need your money. We need your money. Stop giving him your money for what? Isn't he a billionaire? Why you sending him? He can't defend himself. You understand? So it was all a bill. It was a funding stunt he did. Good man. This is garbage, man. I swear it's garbage.
Yeah. The next steps were unclear, and it was uncertain if additional witnesses might be summoned. But a city mindful of the riot by loyalists at the U.S. Capitol more than 2 years ago took steps to protect itself from any violence that could accompany the unprecedented prosecution of a former president. And they showed up. Packing covered this. They showed up. It wasn't much so far, but
showed up.
It wasn't much.
You know the Chinese cult? You ever heard of the Push Times? It's a newspaper, a Chinese newspaper. There's a cult in China that they killed themselves and they're outlawed by the China government.
The Falun Gong practitioners.
Yeah, they showed up. That's the one who showed up in front of the Proud, whatever the other ones. They showed up in front of the DA's office, wherever they are. But those were old Chinese dissidents who believe in a cult. You just said it, the Fang Wang or fucking Ling, whatever the fucking name it is. He has nobody this time. Nobody's going to come out and put themselves out there for him, and he's not going to do nothing for them. If anybody's smart, anybody who's listening to me, and you are followers, don't fall for it. Stay home, keep your job. This is old politics. It's old. He's going to come. He's going to go. He's going to, like every other politician, we're going to have another guy after that, another guy, and life keeps on going. Don't fuck your life up. Good.
All right.
I just want the mega boys, right?
Yeah. We got a ton more really big segments to go over, but I just want to play